Morning and welcome to Coffee Talk with Shaun and John. Hey, today Shaun
Cheers.
said he wanted to start around 8 o'clock, a little after 8 o'clock. So I said, going live at 8:05. I'm hot.
Oh,
That
that's
was
good.
pretty good, huh?
That's good, man. A chisism.
Yeah, that's a chismism. That's right. A
Chismism.
chismism. So hey, Shaun, let's talk. Let's talk a little bit. Man, we've been beating the horse to death over and over and over again, and we're going to continue to beat the horse to death because you know what? I don't know about you. Well, actually, I do know about you because you sit right next to me in my office. I have to move over here because you're so dang loud. But
Dude, I can hear you through the wall.
I can hear you through the wall.
Okay.
That's crazy. These walls must be thin. They weren't made by drywall professionals with the
That's
soundproofing
right.
aspect there.
I'm sure some painters hung the drywall or did something.
Yeah. So anyway, we've been beating the horse of culture to death. We've been beating the horse to death about why it is so tough to find drywall folks. But I mean, let's just be very, very clear. And hopefully we got a few drywall companies watching this morning. I know my mom is watching. Hi, Mom. Good morning.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom, for watching. We appreciate it. Your mom doubled our viewership today, Shaun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, but anyway, so we keep beating this to death, but it's very, very, very important. We get calls every day, and like I said, I know Shaun gets calls every day because I'm always having to run out of the office because he's talking on the phone from hiring authorities that are begging us to bring them good, strong candidates. So this helps us on two sides. If you are a drywall professional, we have to get this out of the way right away up front. If you're a drywall professional, on-screen takeoff quick bid, commercial drywall, currently working in the subcontracting field with projects over $1 million in any metropolitan area in the United States of America or Canada, we want to talk to you. You want to call us, John Chisholm, 605-277-3729, and Shaun Bone, 605-809-8512. You want to get in touch with us because, man, now is the companies are begging. On the other side, Shaun, and I'll let you speak to this, companies are begging. Everybody wants the same drywall professional. Everybody wants that person with 3 to 5 years worth of experience with on-screen takeoff and quick bid, doing commercial projects over $1 million. Everybody wants that same person all over the country. But what do they need to do to attract the talent from one company to another company? We're not talking about people that are on Indeed or ZipRecruiter or any of those places. Everybody knows about those people. I'm talking about the people that have a proven track record. What do companies need to do to attract those people?
Well, I hear it probably for sure one time a day, maybe twice. I was just talking to a gentleman yesterday, works for a drywall company on the West Coast. He's been there for 9 years, does really, really well, likes his company. He's been promoted, but here's the kicker. He is looking at making a change, and all he's looking for, to me, for a company to pick this guy up is a no-brainer. But all he's looking for is a company that would say, yeah, man, you've got your work finished. You've done everything that you've needed to get done this week. Yeah, you can take off on a Friday, or you can work from home on a Friday, or work from home on a Monday. The guy's literally looking for a company that's just flexible that would allow him to work remotely 1, maybe 2 days a week. Right now, the company that he's actually going to hopefully be interviewing at is about 25 minutes from where he lives, but he's just looking for that flexibility. This is not a big ask, and this is, across the country, across multiple industries, flexibility, the possibility of working from home, the hybrid work scenario that we talk about all the time. It's pretty normal now. And so I think that the sooner these commercial drywall, paint, specialty contractors pick up on this, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to find talent because there's not a lot of companies that are doing it. And so I look at it as, if you're a company and you're wondering what can you do to attract talent to your organization, well, one thing you can implement is a flexible work schedule or a hybrid scenario. Obviously, the people that get to enjoy that are people that are producing. They're people that are making the company money or saving the company money. They're earning that. This isn't just for the new drywall estimator who's just out of college or just came out of the field and he's in the office, he's learning. It's not for that person. It's for the people that are experienced, that have put the time in. They're doing well. It should be, it's like an honor system, right? It's something that should be rewarded to your good employees. And I'm telling you, John, I'm hearing it at least one time a day, sometimes 2 times a day. I just heard from another candidate yesterday. He works for, he's a commercial drywall PM estimator down in California. Been at the same company for like 8 years. And he said, Shaun, the only thing that would cause me to make a change is if there was a remote opportunity. Now, remote and a hybrid scenario are 2 different things, but I'm just communicating publicly some of the things that John and I see on the streets.
Right. And the thing is, Shaun, and it's really, really important to realize this. I don't know if you remember, a little bit more than a year ago, we were telling all of our companies that at that time, July, June, July, August, September, we were telling them there is going to be a V-shaped recovery in the drywall industry. You need to hire your people right now. You need to get them away from their companies right now. This is the time right now.
This is the time.
And guess what? We were right. And now everybody that didn't want to talk to us back then wants to talk to us now. And everybody that didn't want to talk to us back then is saying, boy, I wish I would have hired that guy that we brought ahead of him. And so now now we are seeing trends because we're on the front lines. We talk to a ton of drywall candidates every single day. Some of them are awesome and very, very qualified, but they're not going to make a change unless there's something different about the company. Some of them are frustrated because they found out they were that much more efficient at home than they were at going into work every day. I mean, shoot, if you're driving an hour and a half to work and an hour and a half home, that's 3 hours of estimating you could do if you're sitting at your house.
Purchasing or managing or accounting, anything. Right. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, especially in these larger markets where, I was like one of the guys I was talking to yesterday, John, he gets to the office at 5 a.m. And even if he leaves by like 2 or 3, so coming into the office, it's about a 30 to 40 minute drive. Not bad. Okay. It's actually about a 25-minute drive. But even if he leaves at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, about an hour and a half drive. Now, think about this. This guy gets home. He's worn out from driving. His car's taking a beating. That is a mentally wearing thing on a person after doing that for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Well, and the thing is, Shaun, is that not only is a person that's got a hybrid situation more efficient, I believe. And again, this is something you said it over and over again. We say it all the time. This is not something that somebody gets on the first day coming to work. This is something that is earned. So people that are looking for new jobs, they have to go in and establish themselves at the company before they get privileged with. Many companies say 90 days, and it could be faster. It could be faster if you take on the way that we do things. It could be quicker. But see, it's not only just a more efficient way of doing business. It also goes into the number 2. I think it's either number 2 or number 3 when someone's looking for a new job or thinking about leaving their job. It is because of work-life balance.
Yep.
You mentioned it. I mean, shoot, if a guy's driving home after working all day, or a gal's driving home after working all day, and it takes them an hour and a half to 2 hours, not only is it beating on their car, but it's beating on their mental health, and they're not going to feel like throwing a ball with their kid. They're not going to feel like going to a dance recital. They're not going to feel like doing anything like that. They're not going to have that work-life balance. and their spouse is probably going to say, hey, do I even know you anymore? I mean, we don't even hang out anymore. You don't want to go on dates anymore. Why? Well, because the person's driving to work and driving home from work in traffic. They're probably angry when they get home. I mean, they're just full of testosterone or full of whatever,
Right.
vinegar and just salty. And they bring that home with them. So their work-life balance and their relationships are off. So by having a hybrid work model, you are also providing for your person's mental health, work-life balance, relationships, and
you're
that's
gonna have lower turnover. You're gonna have less recruiting cost, right? You're gonna have lower turnover. I mean, there's a lot of byproducts that come from that type of scenario. Now, this is a whole other probably video, and I'm sure that there are consultants out there, because switching to a hybrid scenario, that's an entire culture shift. That is an entire culture shift. And I think a lot of companies, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, just don't know how to wrap their mind around how to implement that.
right. It's hard. But
yeah, I remember working at GPAC back in the day where nobody really worked remotely. You could do our job remotely, but it wasn't really our culture. And quite frankly, it wasn't even really our culture until COVID hit. And our leadership and the recruiters, we did not have a choice. And we adapted extremely quickly, as wolves do, right? We adapted extremely quickly. And actually, like you say, we had our best year last year. And John, you and I had a hell of a year last year in production. This year, it's a lot harder to find people. But I think a lot of companies are scared. They don't know how to make that cultural shift to implement that.
That's right. And it is a culture shift. It's not something that can happen immediately. It's something that needs to be thought through.
Yep.
We were, like you said, we were kind of forced to do it in COVID. And a lot of companies said, you know what, this is great. This is awesome. Everything's working out better this way. With GPAC, we're not able to kind of really reproduce the culture that we had beforehand. There's not the buzz, there's not the energy inside of the building and things like that. We try to do that with video chat and stuff like that. Just it really doesn't have the same effect, but still a wolf is a wolf, and they will adapt and they will change. But the really, really cool thing about it though, Shaun, if you have that culture shift, if you make that culture shift, number one, you mentioned it earlier, it's going to retain the employees that you have right now.
Right.
That's going to be something that's going to make your company more sticky to them. If they have that flexibility, okay, if they have that work-life balance, if they're able to work 2 days from home, 3 days from home, and come into the office occasionally or to a project occasionally, that's something that's going to make your company sticky, okay? But it's also going to, if you have sticky employees, you still want to hire other people. Those employees are going to verbalize their satisfaction. And not only is that going to attract new employees with that culture there, but also the other thing it does is it makes your customers happy. Why? Because happy employees make happy customers. That's just a reality, okay? If a guy's under stress or a gal's under stress or at work and they're stressed out, they're worried about the drive home, they're worried about this, they're worried about missing Johnny's baseball game or Evelyn's dance recital or vice versa, whatever it is, they're going to be focused. Their focus is not going to be on the customer. Okay.
Right.
If you give them work-life balance, if you provide them with remote opportunities, if you give them the freedom to choose to leave a little bit early one day, this is going to make them a happier and more productive employee. It's just that simple. And that's what I talk to companies about when I'm coaching them through this. I'm helping them understand that this is actually going to make for a better company. It's going to help your bottom line, and it's going to help your top line. It's going to help your hiring, and it's going to help your retention. All these things are all win, 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 win. Get it through your head, guys. Really, there's a new way of doing business. It can be done at home, and you do have trustworthy employees that can handle it. They can do it. They proved it over COVID.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, John. And it's all going back to the point of how to attract talent to your company, right? I know this, that if more of my clients are open to this model, some of them are, but if more of them were, and John, you know it, we got them calling us every day because they're like, hey, we need people. Well, so does everyone else. Everyone's in the same battle. Hey, have you thought about, doing a hybrid scenario? And I think if most of them said, yeah, we would like to consider that, we would probably have 2 or 3 candidates within a week or two, really good candidates within a week or two that would make sense. Getting some feedback noise here.
Sorry about that.
Whoa, your mic's all weird. Okay, we're good.
Okay, so we just got some feedback from Michael Samp on the just give you a little shout out, Michael. How's it going, bud? These are the keys that we're talking about. Again, we're on the front lines as recruiters. We're talking to talented candidates every single day. We're talking to companies every single day. We consult with both. We consult with companies. We consult with candidates. And the thing is that these are the pains that we are hearing every single day. It's consistent. I mean, not every candidate is the same, but we ask them the question, Shaun. I mean, what's the first question we always ask a candidate?
What would cause you to make a change?
Or what could be better than what you have right now? Right? What would cause you to make a change? And tops on the list, we're hearing this every day. Tops on the list, man. If I could have someplace that's closer, if I could have someplace that gave me a little bit of flexibility with my schedule. These are the things. Money's not even at the top anymore. Am I right about that, Shaun? I mean,
right.
You can't.
Well, let me give you an example. And one of our fellow recruiters, Paul McFeeters, just found a hell of a good candidate out in Massachusetts. So that's why. Sorry, I was a little distracted there. But a gentleman I was talking to yesterday, same guy, I think he's been at this company for close to 9 years. Looking for flexibility. Money was number 3 on his list. It was flexibility. He actually wants to work for a little bit smaller to mid-sized company where he doesn't feel like a number. And then money was number 3. But number 1, flexibility. And he's not asking for a tremendous amount of flexibility. He's asking, hey, is it okay if I work from home on a Friday? And, assuming I have all of my, tasks accomplished.
We talk with companies all the time that have a 4-day work week or a 4.5-day work week where they in the summertime they send their people home after lunch. You get off early every single day, every single Friday in the summertime. That's just one example. I mean, those are all great flexibility things. And the thing is that we don't want to beat up on employers. We're not beating up on you. What we're doing is we're saying, look, think about it. What would attract you to stay at a company? Well, you hire people that are supposed to be good. They're good at their job. They've proven themselves as good at their job. Why wouldn't you give them flexibility? Why wouldn't you give them that type of cultural thing that's going to keep them stuck to your company? Because they won't find it. They just won't find it out there. And why wouldn't you implement something like that to attract new candidates, good candidates that have a proven track record? Why wouldn't you do that? Because it's going to benefit you. I'm telling you, the culture at a company, from the top down, it changes everything. And if you have a lousy culture, you're not going to have good sales. You're not going to have good retention. You're not going to have a good attraction for somebody to come in and be a part of your company. Your people are not going to feel good, and they're not going to communicate well with other people. I mean, right. That's just the way it is. So my encouragement to both candidate and employer, the candidates, you absolutely positively, when you get this advantage, when you witness this culture shift and you have flexibility, you need to be responsible with that flexibility. In other words, number 1, you need to get your job done, and number 2, with the flexibility is you need to do good work. You need to do good work from the remote location as good a work or better than what you do when you're in the office. Okay, that there needs to be that symbiotic, because if it doesn't benefit the company, if it doesn't produce for the company, that's not gonna stay. And obviously, the biggest reason companies are kind of reluctant to get that going, they kind of stand off and say, it's because they've been burned before.
Yeah.
So, Shaun, I mean, it sounds like we had a couple of successes just because of this in the last few weeks. Okay, we had a big placement in the north. We had a big placement in the Northeast that they finally agreed, and one of the big things was having Friday. Friday was a work from home day. That was a big one. We have two other candidates that got placed in the Washington, D.C. market they started yesterday. Both of them, it was all about the number one and number two thing was location, and location, and number two was culture. For both candidates, and they both found we found for them something better. So
And John, I mean, I'm seeing a reoccurring thing. So if we think about to the placement made up in Washington State, they gave that specific individual, I think after 2 or 3 months, gets to work from home a couple days a week. Okay, because the location with where he lives and the company it's a heck of a drive, but he was willing to take that risk on because he gets to work from home eventually. The other placement in Florida, what's the commonality there? Flexibility of working from home, right?
Right.
The thing in the big placement in Pennsylvania, flexibility, right?
From home. Yep.
So there's a huge trend for the people that we're placing them with companies that are standing out. We're placing them with companies that are willing to say, holy buckets, we need to change our culture a little bit to attract people. We need to change our, here's the thing. These are companies, in my opinion, that are front of the curve in the specialty contracting industry. And I will tell you this, the easiest job for me to fill is a company that's ahead of the curve. 100%.
We're not looking. We're not necessarily looking to make our job easier. I mean, here's the reality. It's a benefit to the company. Yeah. It's a benefit to the company, right?
It's a no-brainer. I mean, so I understand hybrid or remote's maybe doesn't work for every company, but if you're listening today, it's something to consider, just because we're seeing the trend right now. I thought I was seeing the trend 6 or 7 years ago when I started. Now, and I really didn't, but now the trend is starting. It's picking up steam, and I think it's going to be
started.
Yeah, in about 5 years, it could be the new norm, I guess.
It's already going that direction. We're trailblazers. We know what we see. We know what we hear. All you have to have is eyes to see and ears to hear when you're listening to people on a daily basis. So I'm going to give one job opportunity. Shaun, you give one job opportunity before we close here.
Okay.
I know I'm putting you on the spot, but
you go first.
Okay, I will. I've got a phenomenal opportunity right now. It is in Houston, Texas. Okay, I really have a company there that's really over a barrel. They're looking for an ACT superintendent or project manager. You can call it different things, but basically acoustical ceilings, an expert in acoustical ceilings. I'm not looking for a drywaller that occasionally does acoustical ceilings. I'm looking for an expert in acoustical ceilings. Now, this company, phenomenal culture. Over the years, I've placed a couple people there. They've stayed there long term. I just placed somebody there a month and a half, 2 months ago. Loving it, loves the culture, loves the freedom, loves the flexibility. This is one of those forward-thinking companies as far as flexibility goes. So I encourage you, if you're in Texas, Houston, Texas, if you're watching right now, if you're watching recorded, give me a call, 605-277-3729. Shaun?
Yeah, what do they say? If you give me an inch, I'll take a mile, or there's some saying like that. So I'm gonna list off 2 jobs.
Go
um,
ahead.
yeah, don't call me a goat head. I don't appreciate that. Um, I'm in desperate need of a commercial drywall estimator, project manager, but mainly someone who likes estimating near the Great Smoky Mountains. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee, on the Tennessee side. Great opportunity in a pretty laid back community. I mean, I'll be honest, guys. If I was a commercial drywall estimator and I lived in Nashville or Boston or New York or New Jersey or heck, maybe even Florida, I would relocate for this job just because the company is awesome, the culture is amazing, they've been around forever, and the location is great. So I don't care if you have 2 years of experience or 30, I don't care. I don't care. If you got on-screen takeoff, metal framing experience, and you're interested in relocating to a cool little mountain town in Tennessee, no state income taxes, very affordable to live, reach out to me, 605-809-8512. And then the last thing we need right now, we have an urgent need for a commercial drywall senior estimator in the Boston area. We have a really good client that they're ready to rock and roll. They're growing like crazy. The cool thing about them is that they give tremendous bonuses to their producers. It's not uncommon with this particular company where, let's say if you make 80 grand on a base, it's not uncommon to make 100% of your base if you do well for the company. It's really an opportunity where you kill what you eat. You eat what you kill, I should say. You eat what you kill. So if you're a go-getter, you like getting out there and making sales and closing jobs, love to chat with you. 605-809-8512.
All right. Well, we're going to close it up. Final thoughts, Shaun?
Give us a call. There's a lot of great opportunity out there, and we'd love to help you out. 100% confidential. Love to chat with you. If you're a company, would love to chat with you. I don't care. I'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, and that's exactly correct, Shaun. We're in a war for talent, and Shaun and I want to win that battle. Look, we're the number 1 and number 2 drywall recruiter in the entire country. We're not going to say who's number 1 and number 2.
Well, it's according to our moms.
Well, yes, exactly. So that changes, and actually, Shaun's mom thinks I'm number 1 too. So anyway,
well, just look who has a senior in front of their title. I guess you'll find out.
Right. Well, I have a senior in front of my title because I am a senior. I actually have a junior, so I am a senior.
Yeah, but only one of us has a senior in front of our title, and it's not John. So I'll let you decide who that is.
Okay. Well, there you
go. You do
go.
have a doctor in front of your title. I don't have that.
Yeah, that's all right, man. So anyway, we're the number 1 drywall team for sure, right? we're like a pack of wolves.
To our moms, yes.
We're always hunting. We're always hunting. We're always looking. Listen, if you're a drywall professional, and I don't care what you do, I don't care. I really don't talk to foremen. I really don't talk to drywall hangers.
I'll talk to foremen all day long.
I'll talk to superintendents, project managers, estimators, CEOs, COOs, CFOs, accountants,
controllers,
anybody that works in the office, in the drywall industry, in the commercial paint industry. I'll talk to you all day long and twice on Sunday. And listen, we will keep your information confidential. We will talk to you. We'll find out what could be better than what you have right now. You may be looking. You may be looking. You may not be looking, but you want us as a contact. Call us. My name is John, 605-277-3729. He's Shaun, 605-809-8512. And we are going out the door. Listen, have a great day. Have a great week. We'll see you soon. Thank you.